So today we are going to talk about how to create a class. I mean, whatever I explained a little bit on other days class. So we go a little bit deeper into how to create a class, how you can create an object, how you can create a constructor, how you can use object state in multiple scenarios. Okay. So now I'm saying I keep this class as is, and then I'm removing everything from here. So I just keep the system.out.println starting the execution. Something like that, just printing some statement here, that's all. So why I'm getting the error here? Ideally, I'm not should not get error. Okay. So now what did I do? I clean up the class that we used in the earlier session. And I'm just running the empty main method. It should print only starting the execution. You see here, the starting the execution. Now, I am going to create a new class. So the class name is person. So we'll talk about packages later point of time. Let's focus only on how to create a class and how local variables and all that stuff. So as I explained you in the previous session, so you can create class level variables. So now there are two types of class level variables: static variables and non-static variables. Now, what is the difference? So let's say I'm creating a variable, something like public string. String is my primitive type. We'll get back to that a little bit later. So public string first name equal to Gautam. And I am creating another variable, public static last name equal to singularity. So now, if you see here, this is class variable, and this is also a class variable, but this is static. So the difference between these two variables is only additional static keyword. So I forgot the type of the variable. So the type of the variable is last name, string. In both cases, the type of the variable is string. The difference is only static keyword. So the difference is the first one is instance variable, and the second one is class static variable. Please mute yourself. So if I muted everybody, whenever you have a question, unmute yourself and ask the question. So now I just created two variables with static difference. So now let's go back how these two variables will work. So I'm going back to welcome class. Here I'm calling person. Person is my class that just I created. Dot last name. You see here, I can access only last name, but I cannot access first name. So that means any static variable you can access by using class name without creating an object of the class. So now here I'm just printing system.out.println. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. So now, here, second line, I am trying to print first name plus person is my class, and I am directly accessing the last name variable. So now you see here, first name singularity. Is that what I have mentioned there? Oh, no, okay, last name. I just typed. Yeah. I'm running the program again. So now you see here, I am getting singularity. So that means here in the person class, last name, the value that I have given is singularity. So I am able to access this static variable without creating a person object. But so other variable we have created is this one without static variable. So now to access that variable, you need to create person object. I am allocating some variable name, person1. So now you see here, I am created a new object of person class, and the variable I am assigning to a variable person1. This variable name can be anything of your choice. I can say XX. It will work. So that's just your own variable name. And what type of variable this is? Of person type, because you created a constructor of a person, the type of the variable will also be a person. Just like earlier we see the variable here, right? This variable is type of string. This variable is type of, another last name is also type of string. Similarly, person1 variable is the type of person class. Now I'm trying to print first name. Person1, that is my object variable name. This is my object. And now you see both first name and last name are available. So I'll try to print last name also. Let's run this program. See, you see, we were able to access both variables using an object. Without an object, you can access only static variables. So that's the difference between static and non-static. Any questions? Clear? Somebody should speak up. So I'm not doing a monotony class. Are you guys listening what I'm saying? You guys can unmute yourself and talk, answer my questions. They can unmute. Right? I muted everybody, and you just need to unmute and talk. Let me see.
Yeah, now it's unmuted. Everything is clear.
Okay. Okay, I unmute everybody. So
yeah, everything is okay.
So now let's go to a method. So now you understand the difference between static and non-static variables. In other way, you can use the terminology instance variables. This is nothing but instance variable. This is nothing but class variable. Now, let's apply the similar situation to methods of a class. Probably void. Maybe I'll return int. Int is my return type. Add. So as explained, we had this earlier, right? So I'm keeping the same example. First number, int last number. So int total first name, first number plus last number. And return total. So here what we are doing, forget about the return and all that stuff. I'll come back to that later point of time. So I just created a method, and similarly I'm going to create another method, probably call float. Yeah. The return type is float. Division. Int first number. Int last number. Int result equal to first number divided by last number. And return result. So now, there is no difference between these two methods. I mean, forget about the implementation inside the method in terms of the method signature. So this line is nothing but method signature. Okay. So what is a method signature? Method signature is of what type of it is, what is the return type, method name, arguments. Everything together is method signature. So now I am going to add additional keyword static. So the only difference between these two now is static keyword. Now let's go back to the same situation here. So now here I am taking class name directly without creating an object dot. Now you will see only you can access all static members of the class without creating an object. So these two are last name and add are static members of a class. So what is the members? Any variable, any methods inside a class are class members. So now I'm gonna put in the printout print statement, then you will see addition, add results. Person is the class and add is the method that I'm accessing. I am passing some arguments to it. Now, division results. Division you cannot access using class name. can access them using only object. So the object is person1, and I'm called. Now you can see division is available. So the single, I'm applying 20 first number, last number 10. So now the difference, however the static and non-static variable works, similarly non-static method and static method will work. Now let's execute this program. Now you see add 20 and division result is 2. So that's the difference between static and non-static members of a class. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. So now you understand what is a static and non-static. Now let's look at what is variables and how the scope works. So there are multiple types of variables available. Like you can create public. I'm trying to create multiple types of variables. Public int I equal to 0. So now int is one type of a variable. Similarly, you can have many different types like double or long j equal to 10.1. Something wrong. Oh, okay. Long is not a digital number. So now long, because I cannot give 10.1. 10.1 is not long number. It's a fractional number. If you want that, you can use public double. So you need to read a lot of online material around how different types of variables, how they work. Now double. So, and also there are like this, there are many different variables. You can have Boolean variables also, Boolean flag equal to, you can say true or false or whatever. So Boolean, true or false. And as we see in the previous, yeah, go ahead.
Float. Sorry.
Yeah, float. I mean, you need to read all that. I mean, I'm not going to give you every type of a variable. So you need to read a lot of material around this. What are all the different types of variables? I'm just giving you a sample set of it. So like this. So here, all of these are not objects. Int, long, double, float, string. Nothing is an object here. So these type of variables are called primitive types, primitive variables. Primitive variables. And you can create objects also, something like this. Public integer. Integer is a class available in Java. Integer m equal to 100. So now this is of an integer class. So the difference here is this one is a simple int. So that means you can just access the I variable. In case of m, see here, if I say I dot, nothing will be there because that is just a primitive type. If I say m, because there is an object, dot. What the hell? It should give you 1 minute. Oh, I did not create it properly. Teacher 100. Can I access first this variable? Just give me a minute. It is supposed to work. No, I can't create like setting. I might be forgot the syntax. M dot, not M, count. Integer dot value of int, it will return integer. Yeah, it is returning only int object, correct. Give me a minute. I need to search in Google. Count dot. Wow. Java integer object, integer class. Yeah, I created this way, and parsing, we'll see. The return type is only int. No. I need to check the API for all the methods available. Integer dot class type decode compare numbers. I'll check and let you know. I don't want to waste time. So I'll use a different example. Public person. I'm creating the same object of the person equal to. Okay, I see the problem. Okay, we'll see. So I'm creating a new object, person. What? I can't, right? New string. Some Eclipse is not giving me, so I'll create in a normal traditional way. Okay. Now I'm creating an object. So this is not a primitive variables. So non-primitive variables. So that means you can create any different types of objects with a variable names. So now once you create the non-primitive variables, you should be able to access those non-primitive variables. Okay. Yeah. So now you see the difference. Now I see the person.firstname. I'm able to access this variable here. But the same variable I cannot access here. No. So that's why in the previous example, integer also did not work. So I can explain you that example also here. Now let's say you create integer count.
Can you please repeat it? I couldn't.
I'll do that. Integer answer. So now I created two non-primitive variables, person and count. So now here I can access here person dot any properties of person, meaning the same class. So I'm trying to access the same class object inside it. So now here if I say, sys out, I don't need to say that. No, okay, let's say person dot first name and assign to whatever the variable you want, you can assign. Yeah. So now what you see here is you can access person's first name. Now here I am doing the same thing. See here, it complains. Why? So now you just go on, click on it, see the state. I mean, most of the time you can get the enough information to know what was the problem. So cannot make a static reference to a non-static field person, meaning. So this class method is a static method. Now, inside a static method, I am trying to access a variable. So any static member should be able to access another static members. So now here, so that's why even if I say count, I'm not getting the count variable here. But go down here. This is a non-static variable, meaning instance method. So here, go and do count. Now you see all of those behaviors on that object. So meaning, so now by using primitive data types, you can just assign values to different variables and you can use them. In a non-primitive variables, you can create objects, you can get different behaviors. I mean, different methods on object, different methods of variables on an object. Okay. So that's the difference between primitive variables and non-primitive variables. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll take it as no. Now, how you can define the scope of variables inside a class? So what are the variables that we have created here? These are all at a class level variables, meaning wherever you create object of this class, you can access all the variables created at class level. That's the reason in another class, welcome class, you are able to create person object and we were able to fetch the class level variables. Now, let's go and create a variable inside this. Int I'll make some string variable, string email equal to something like this. Now you see the error here. Why? Means you did not use this modifier. I mean, we'll come to the modifiers later. So now I created a variable inside a method. I cannot access this variable outside of this method scope. Even I cannot access the variable in another method of the class. No, I cannot get it. You get the error. So even at a class level, you cannot access. So it's like a top-down approach, meaning the class level variables you can access one step down. So it's like class level is at a parent and these are at a child level. So now here I can access other variables, like, if I wanted to access last name, I'll get that. Last name is there. So I'm able to access the class level variable, but not a method level variable. Even this variable will not be available at welcome also. So you can create variable at a method level and you can use inside the method. So now I say here, and now I'm saying email equal to, I'm changing the email value to xx.com. So I can manipulate the variable however I want inside the same method. So method variables are private at a method level. So that's the difference between class level variable scope and method level variable scope. Any questions?
No questions.
No. So now let's talk about what is these, constructors. So far we have seen variables, methods of a class members, and how you can access them. Now let's look at constructors of a method, of a class. Now here we have created this new. This is nothing but a constructor of a class, but this is a default constructor, meaning we are not passing any variables, any arguments here, nothing. We are not passing anything. So by default, whenever you create a class, Java will provide a default constructor for that class. So how it happens is, whenever you say class person, right? So now every class, even when you say class person, automatically this will be inherits java.lang.object. So I will show you that Java. So you need to read a lot of material. I mean, you need to go to the Google and read Java API, and then you will understand how things works. Because this is like, more than 1,500 different classes and, some, 10,000s of methods. So Java API and dot. Yeah, Oracle Help Center. I want to show you where this API is. 1 minute, please. Yeah. So here, this is the, Oracle is the official, provider for Java platform. So now you can see here, class, object. This is also a class. Object is the name of a class. So now here you can see, what is the constructor of the class and, methods available in that object class. So these are all, it's a self-explanatory. You need to read through these, each class, see here, right? Boolean, what it is. And, everything is self-explanatory. You need to read a lot of material around this. So now, whenever you create a class, automatically that class will extend object. This is the parent for every damn class available in Java. Now, because of that, you are able to get a default constructor behavior, this one. Now, I want to create my own constructors. Now, I am creating another constructor, person. I am passing first name to it. So similarly, right, I am creating just like the method, but there are multiple differences. So the difference is the name, method name, and class name same. So whenever these names are same, that is nothing but a constructor of the class. So here the method names are different. These are all just methods, but this is a constructor. So now what did I do? A constructor will not have any return types. I did not say anything void or any return type. So that is one more difference. Constructors name is exactly similar to class name, and there will not be any return type. So now, once you come inside, you can say this dot first name. Constructor means whenever the constructor is created, that means you will have your own person object ready. This dot person name, first name. So just for clarity, I'll change it to something else, F name. I declare a different variable name. Now, F name. So what did I do? I created a constructor. Constructor takes an argument, a string argument as a first name. Whatever the value comes to the constructor, that is assigned to my variable, this variable. So now, whenever I create a constructor, the first name will automatically change to whatever the name I passed into the constructor. Now let's look at that, how it works. So, come back here. Now, you see here, earlier you did not see the error. Now, you are seeing the error. Meaning, Java lang.object will provide you default constructor. Once you write your own constructor, the default constructor will not be available to you. That's why you see error here. So, now, I have to pass first name. I am passing Bala. So now, let's run this program. See this line. First name changed to Bala. Though you have at a class level variable, though it is declared as Govardhan, when the object is created, I use my own custom behavior on that object using Bala as passing as a name. That's why I got a different first name. So that's how you can create constructors. A constructor will take any number of arguments. Just like method, you can pass any number of arguments to a constructor. Now, let's come back to other situation. The default constructor was not available earlier, right? So, if you really want a default constructor also, then you have to create manually. I mean, you won't get it just like that, because you have already a overwritten constructor. So if you do like this, it will work. So now let's go back how to use two different constructors. In a class, you can create any number of constructors. There is no limit. So now try to use default constructor. I'll remove all these statements just to clear the confusion. Now I am creating another object of the same class. This time my object name I am giving as person2. So as I explained earlier, right? Object variable is person2 and the type of the variable is person. So now here I am trying to print the variable name. Second time, first name. Oh, I'll keep just like that. Person2, first name, person2 dot first name. Let's run the program. So now you see the difference. The first line executed and I got name Bala. And second object executed, I got name Govardhan. Meaning, I am creating different types of objects and I am getting different behavior. One object is giving me Bala, second object is giving me Govardhan, though my class is same. So meaning, you can create any number of objects with a different behavior at every object level. So that's how you can use multiple constructors. And I cannot duplicate constructors. So I have created this constructor here, right? So now I cannot write again like this. This will not work because the whole constructor signature is same between both of them. So if you, that's why, class, which will be picked up, you will get it will get confused. So you cannot duplicate it. But you can write something like this, lname. It will work. So this is how you can create any number of constructors. So this is the default constructor. This is overloaded constructors with different parameters. Now, any questions so far?
No questions.
Actually, constructors are constructed only in class, not in methods, right?
Yeah, at a class level, you can create constructors. You can have variables, constructors, methods. Okay. So now you can call method inside a method. So within the class, now I created two methods, add and division. One method can call another method. Here, I can call this dot add. This means current class, this person class. This dot add, I can say 300. I mean, whatever you wanted to say, you can do that within the class. You can access in this method. You are able to access another method, and you will be able to access variables, and you can be able to access constructors also. So now here I can say new person. I can call. So in any of these constructors, see here editor is already suggesting me what are all the different constructors are available. I can call any constructor. So meaning inside a method, at a class level, inside a method, you can be able to access variables and constructors. Inside a constructors, you cannot access methods. You can access only variables. Now, let's see this start. Oh, I think so. Sorry. You can access methods also at a constructor level. So here also, I am doing another one. Okay. So now at a constructor level, I was able to access methods. At a method level, I was able to access constructors and variables. So anything can be accessed in any way inside the class, except only the variables inside a method. Now, one other thing is inside a constructor, you can access another constructor also. See here, I'm just saying this. F name. How I call it? This dot F name. Call must be, oh, okay, I see. So, most of the time it will suggest you, whenever you get an error, keep a pointer on it, it will suggest you. Here, if you see here, constructor call must be the first statement inside a constructor. So here the difference is I am saying first name line is first, and the second line I am calling another constructor of the class. So I'm just switching the statements. That's it. So meaning now here, meaning inside a constructor, you can call another constructor. Here what I did in these two argumented constructor, I called one argumented constructor. So you can call methods inside a constructor. You can call another constructor inside a constructor. Any questions?
No.
No. So I would like to stop here for today's session. If you have any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, we can wrap up for today.
Sir, couldn't understand using a construction in a constructors.
I can't see this. So no questions, right? So that's
No. Like Prashant, someone asked you one question. It's not that clear.
I did not hear the question.
Yeah.
Hello?
She's asking how to build a constructor inside a constructor.
Okay. So this one, right? You cannot you cannot declare a constructor inside another constructor. You cannot write something like this. public person, and you cannot do like that. But only thing is you can call another constructor inside a constructor. Does that help you? Okay. So that's all for today's session. Let's wrap up. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.